Hey, before you give up, please watch this video. Um, this is for you, okay? I'm someone who has dealt with toxicity. I am someone who has spent his entire childhood in a toxic environment. I used to get dictated, I used to get mocked, I used to get, insulted, disrespected. People used to mock me, people used to dictate me. I wasn't allowed to do anything of my own choice. As someone who has spent his entire childhood in a toxic environment, you know, my I have my entire story on my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description box. Highly recommend. Please check that video out. I have shared my entire story. I've shared how my childhood looked like, and what things I went through, what situations I went through, everything that I went through. I used to get dictated. I wasn't allowed to wear the clothes that I wanted to wear, and I had no one to share my pain to. Again, link in the description box. Um, you can check that whole story out. But in short, I used to get dictated, I used to get mocked, I wasn't allowed to do anything of my own choice, and I had no one to share my story, my pain to. And remember, I was 6 years old, 7 years old at that time. Okay, I wasn't an adult. In fact, I'm still not an adult right now. Um, so, yeah. So, for the sake of this video, I just want to keep this short. Um, I'm not going to share my entire childhood story. In short, I used to get dictated and I had no one to share my pain to. Now, let's get into this video. What I have learned and what you would hear from every single successful person, I'm not saying I'm a very successful person, but what would you hear from anyone who is successful or who has gone through a lot would be don't give up. Okay, and that's the same thing that I am, and that is what I'm telling you too. Please don't give up. Sometimes life gets really tough, and I get it. Sometimes it can get really ridiculously tough. Sometimes you will genuinely feel hopeless, but it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not your fault. Number one, it's not your fault. Number two, you have done what you could possibly do. Number three, God is watching everything. And number four, these tough times, they 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 are not forever. They will fade away and you will find a better thing. Okay, even though it might feel like there is no hope and you won't get anything out of your life, trust me, you'll find a better thing, and these tough times will go away. Tough times never last forever. Think of 2023. You are going through a lot. Or think of any year in which you were going through a lot, in which you were going through tough times. Think of any year. Let's say 2023 was the year in which you were going through a lot of tough times. Let's say. Are you going through the same tough time in 2025? No, I can guarantee. So you have to understand that tough times don't last forever. And again, remember, it's not your fault. Tough times are not because of you. It's not your mistake. And you are doing what you can possibly do to fight them off. You are doing what you can possibly do to navigate tough times. And if it's still not working, then it's not your fault. And I always say this. you should be sad or worried about, you should be sad for the things that went wrong because of you. If it's not your fault, then there is no reason to be sad, to be worried about, to worry, to be sad, to be, let's say somebody died, somebody who was really close to you died. Let's say, okay, it's an example. It doesn't happen, but let's say, is this okay? Like, it's okay to be sad. I mean, to cry because it was somebody who was really close to you, but it doesn't mean you stay sad for the rest of your life. You have to move on, and you have to understand that there was no your fault. Okay, I just picked a wrong example. Okay, it was an irrelevant example. Let's take some other example. Let's say, um, you were trading and you went down $500,000. Like, you lost $500,000. Okay, now it's not your probably not your fault, right? Because trading, it just fluctuates all the time. Fuck. What I'm trying to say is that if it is your fault, then you should be sad, okay? Because you could have done better. But even in that case, you have to move on at some point. You should be only sad, you should be only worrying about shit when there is your fault. If there is, most of the times you are doing what you can possibly do. So in that case, it's not your fault. And so in those cases, you should not be sad. Let's say there is now this is a great example. Let's say you applied for a lottery, and the lottery really means to you a lot. You need, let's say it's a lottery for money. If you were lucky, you would get a lot of money, and you really need that money. So this lottery is very important to you because you need the money, right? You really, really need the money. And let's say you don't get that money. You don't win the lottery. So should you be sad? Yes, it is natural to get sad, but you have to understand that it was not your fault. It was a lottery. It wasn't in your hands. You couldn't have done anything about it. Never be sad. Don't never be sad or never worry about stuff you have no control on, if that makes sense. But let's say there was your mistake. Okay, you made a stupid mistake. Now you should be sad because it's your mistake. You could have done better, but at some point you have to move on. You have to forget and you have to move on. So the summary: never feel bad or sad about stuff you have no control on. If you are giving your 100% to something, then there is no, if you are giving your 100% to something and you still lost, then you didn't lose because of your mistake. Right? Like, you did what you could possibly do. So now you should not be sad. I think this really summarizes this. And never give up. Never give up. Times are tough, and you need to understand that if you are doing your 100%, if you are putting in your 100% effort, if you are doing what you can possibly do, then you should not worry about the bad outcomes that you are consistently getting. You know what I mean? Like like you are doing what you can possibly do. You are not giving up. You are doing what you can possibly do. You are putting in your 100% effort. If you're not putting your 100% effort, then you should be sad. Then you should cry. Then you should be then you should feel bad about yourself because you're not putting in your 100%. If you are putting in 100% in something and you're not giving up, you're consistently putting effort, then even though if you fail, let's say in the future, you should remind yourself that it wasn't your mistake. It is not your mistake, right? Because you did what you could possibly do. And so you didn't fail because of your mistake. Does that make sense? And so this is how you should, this is the kind of mindset that you should have. Okay. um, and by the way, if you are feeling really lost and you are stuck at the same spot, things are not moving and you are genuinely about to do something bad, like you are feeling so hopeless, if that's you, I'm offering a year-long coaching program, and I'm just taking one client. That means that for an entire year, my focus will be on you, and I will transform your life just like I did with myself. I used to go through a lot. I used to get dictated and everything, but I not only managed to overcome the adversity, but I also managed to achieve my goals and dreams. And this is what I want to do with you too. Highly recommend, if you are someone who has got a good budget and who is feeling lost in life, this offer is for you. I'm offering a year-long coaching program where I will do one-on-one sessions, texts, calls. The purpose of this program is to transform your life, to help you find your breakthrough. It's a high ticket offer because I will transform your life, because my entire year will be only focused, will be for you. You know what I mean? And I will transform your life just like I did with myself. I used to go through loneliness, depression, and I had no one to share my pain to. But I managed to overcome everything, and I managed to achieve my goals and dreams. And I will do the same with you. I will transform your life. The offer is, it's a $10,000 offer. It's like $10,000 the money you have to pay me. you know if you have got $10,000 and you are feeling lost and stuck, this is the best thing that you can do. DM me on Instagram. My username is in the description box and as well as in the pinned comment. DM me and I will check if you're the right fit. Then I will book you for a year-long coaching program, the purpose of which is to transform your life. You know what I mean? So, yep, this is the best thing that you can do. If you have got $10,000, then I can transform your life. Okay. Okay. With that being said, go DM me on Instagram. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.